Hello. Hello.
Everybody, good to see y'all. Okay, give me a second. I just got here, just got online, so I'm gonna set everything up and then we'll get started.
Sounds good.
Okay. Welcome, welcome. Now we're into week 5, electronic field production, EFP. We're figuring out the Zoom and we're figuring out the flexibility of this course, so that makes me happy. I use it on my end to get better with Zoom, so that's kind of what's going on with me. And then I love the fact that we have 2 students now that are participating online in the Flex environment. So it's a wonderful way for me to know if this is working or not, and more importantly, for you all to be able to attend without, being here. So I love that. Okay, so last time we talked about person on the street. We talked about the idea of how we would do that, what that might look like, fun or not fun, kind of depends on you and your mood of the time. And so today I wanted to move into something a little bit different. And today I'm going to try to share my screen. So give me a second. And let's see if this can work. One moment, it's asking me for some passwords and some setups in order for it to be able to access. So let's see how that goes. It's what I love about what we're doing. Okay. There we go. All right, that's looking good. And now, well, first of all, I assume it's looking good. Are you all able to see my screen?
Yep.
Oh, perfect. Okay. Then let's go here. Okay. Today, interestingly enough, we're going to talk about tourism videos. All right. How do we shoot something where we go and begin to work on the idea of an assignment rooted in tourism style of shooting? I like the idea of this because you're going to see I'm carrying it into something that's a little more interesting than tourism, although I've made a good deal of money shooting tourism videos. But what I wanted to do today is kind of talk about how does this work and why is this relevant to you all at this moment? Okay, and I'll get there eventually, trust me. All right, so as we go down this week, I want to talk about the tourism stuff. And it's a style, really, more than anything else, of what we do. Okay, so hang on. Let me incorporate the board here for everybody that's on ground here. Here we go. This little thing is hiding over here. Oh, and they've taken my marker boards and my eraser. So I have a very small eraser, which I hope will work. Can y'all see that online? That's kind of tiny, but I don't know if y'all can see that or not. It's cool. All I'm going to do is go through what you see on screen here and write it on the board so that everybody here can see kind of where I'm talking about on this one without having to go to the online. Although everything you see right here, this PDF I'm working off of, I'll put this in the bright space as soon as we're done here. Okay. So tourism, all right, the thing I want y'all to understand about this is what it takes to be able to go and do something like this, right? Electronic field production, by definition, we're going into the field. We're going to go somewhere and shoot something, right? And to me, the one thing that I want to make sure y'all remember about that is you got to plan ahead. It's just not enough to be able to grab your gear and go. even to grab your gear and go, you still got to plan ahead within the idea. Do you have your batteries? Do you have some backup recording cards or recording media? Do you have lighting if you're going to be doing something not necessarily at night, but what about being indoors? If we're going inside a place, can we light it up? If we're going to start talking to people and doing interviews and whatnot, sometimes tourism is testimonials, capturing people's reactions to where you are, can we light them up and make sure that if we're shooting in the shade in the middle of the day, we can still light them up and make sure that they look well lit. So lighting is important, even if it's middle of the day. You just got to plan these things out based upon the place you're going. So I'll put that right there up front. Plan your work and work your plan. You got to have a plan anytime we're doing anything in EFP, but especially when we're doing tourism stuff, right? So, and I keep saying tourism because it's a style of shooting. I'm not asking y'all to go out and do some of the stuff that I put what I've done. Like in the early days, a lot of people really needed to showcase what they were trying to sell. Six Flags, Astroworld, things like tourist spots of the city of Houston, tourist spots of the San Antonio area. And so I took and put into the assignment a playlist of what I did with America Online. They call it AOL Travel back in the day. We're going way back when all this was brand new. But they sent me up there. They didn't really have anybody in San Antonio. And we did a whole expose of tourism for San Antonio. And then they liked it. And we came down and did it all for Houston as well. So I remember what it was like to do that. And I remember how well received that content was. And I see the exact same thing going on nowadays. And that's where I want to take y'all on understanding some of the stuff that is important in shooting this style of a video, and then why that's relevant to y'all right now, how you might get paid doing it, right? Okay, so we're going to start with our plan and planning ahead. The next thing I put down, if you're shooting inside a place, make sure it's okay with the owners. We talked a little bit about that when we got together last time, that idea of rights and clearances, but the idea of, we're not talking about a release form now, we're just talking about the protocol of being someone that is welcome to pull a camera out and shoot somewhere. We're not talking about exteriors. We're not talking about shooting from outside. We're not talking about public parks or bridges or anything you might want to go shoot. I'm just telling you, restaurants, bars, anything inside, movie theaters, anything like that. You just want to let somebody know what you're up to before you just pull out a camera and start shooting stuff. And talking about these kind of videos and this assignment in particular, this is a week where your phone is going to be A-okay. All right, that's really important. You don't have to go to the cage unless you want to. You can go to the cage. You can always pull out your own gear and your own cameras and do what you want. That is never a bad thing. But on this one, if you just want to do what you want to do with your phone, it's going to be perfect this week. Okay, but the idea is if you have to shoot inside someplace, I'll just say anywhere. If we're on this assignment this week and we're trying to go shoot something in a tourism style and we got to be sneaky about it, I'll tell you right now, nope, don't do that. All right. That's the wrong kind of shooting. Although, I've done that too, but I don't want for y'all to have to do that. I want for y'all to be welcomed where you are. I want you to engage people where you are. And that way, because the assumption today is that you can just pull your phone out and shoot anything you want anymore for social media, do what you want. But I'm telling you right now, you're always going to be better received if you'll go in there, look for who owns the place and kind of tell them what you're up to, make sure it's cool with them, because you might think it's going to be great. You might think it's no big deal. You might think I'm just going to pull my phone out and shoot some stuff, but you just don't know what the people think. The proprietors of wherever you're at might have a different idea, or more importantly, they may have a better idea. That's kind of what I like. I like to go in there and let them know what I'm doing, not only so that I don't run afoul of anything that might concern them, but mostly so that they'll know what I'm doing. And if it's a restaurant or something, they'll bring out some good food. They'll bring out whatever they might want if they know why I'm there. So I tend to want to make them my friends. I do what I can. I put them back to a link of whatever I'm doing so they can see what I did. And then more importantly, I become their buddy. They become my buddy. And I go and frequent the place, right? So it kind of works both ways. But I like to build a win-win situation with that. And that's why I tell you right there, make sure you're okay. And we'll put that as I just wrote it as location approvals, right? That you're approved to be there and shoot stuff. That's all. And I just want y'all to get comfortable, even in today's world where people just pull a phone out, they start shooting everything they want to. You can do that, but you're going to get farther and you're going to get better responses when you start engaging with people who own the place. And it's going to be more fun than you think. All right. But anyway, I put that one down as number 2. Get your approvals for your location. The next thing when we talk about this is shoot wide exteriors that showcase the place that you're profiling. So we're going to put that down. Wide exteriors. And I'll tell you why. All right. So here we go. We're trying to showcase something. We're trying to show somebody, our audience, why they should come here, why they should visit this place. What's up with that? Hence the idea of the tourism factor, right? We're trying to entice people to come and be a part of whatever it is we're pointing the camera at. But we start with the wide exteriors because of 9 times out of 10, you can knock those out before you even really get into having to deal with people, having to ask permission for anything. We're talking about, again, in the city of Houston, right? I can't speak for any other municipality, but in Houston, you can take a camera out and film a sidewalk, for standing on a sidewalk, standing on a street, standing in a public park. You can do a wide shot, just take your camera and shoot really wide of the place you're focusing on, no pun intended, you know, you're the subject of your shoot, your location, and it'll allow people 2 different things. It'll allow them to see what you're talking about and where you're working. That is to say what our subject is, but we're also trying to help people understand when they get close to what we're filming, they see it, they recognize it, and they know, oh, that's where I'm going, right? That's just so important. That just happened to me today. Right before I came here, I get up in the morning, I do what I can, and I like to try to catch whatever the local news is. And I'm a fan of Fox 26 across the street. And they were at a place over here at Westheimer and Shepherd. What do they call that place? Thrifted Threads, they called it. So I wrote that down because they were doing a live stand-up this morning. They go and talk about places, all these kind of things. They were doing a tourism style shoot this morning live from Thrifted Threads. And as a little resale shop, a little thrift shop. But when he happened to be standing there on the live shot, he pulled off something off the rack, and it was this sweet looking oiler blue, had a red line and whatnot, jacket. And on the lapel here, it had the initials MG in red. And I was like, oh, dude, Martin Gaston, I'm gonna go check that out. And I knew it was close to where we had to be today for this class. So I left a little early, went over there, and went to go see if that jacket would fit. Don't you know, just a little too small. But it did look good. Looked good on TV, right? But I was able to go right to that place. Once I got in that area, a little plug for them because it's nice people, seem like they had a nice place. And I like thrift shopping. But it is Shepherd and Westheimer, basically, right there on the left-hand side. Anyway, when I got close, I knew where I was, and that I could get away from the Google Maps, I could get away from the maps, and I could just look up. And because they had done exterior shots, I was able to see, oh, that's where I'm going. And I knew to get over. I knew, you know, without having to look at the maps on my phone, I could do it because of their wide exteriors as part of what they shot that morning. So it really does help. All right. So wide exteriors are going to help you set your locale, going to help you set up the idea of what it is we're discussing or showing or showcasing, right? This place, these people, these things that whatever reason we're shooting, shoot your wide exteriors and make it as wide as the camera will go. And then start pushing in. As later on, I call it the MW, the wide, medium, tight, right? The WMNT. And we'll get to that in a second. But start with your wide stuff, because when you first get there, you find some place to park, you're getting ready to get your gear. Even if your gear is just this, you're getting it ready and you've got everything. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to walk to the place. You're going to walk up on the place. Before you even approach the place, just pull back, get you a nice solid stand-up locator shot. Make it wide, make it exterior. Again, don't have to ask anybody's permission for that stuff. And that sets the tone for the shoot you're about to embark upon. That's one of my secrets. It gets me in a good mood. So that's what I like to do. All right. Shoot the wide exteriors. Okay. And if everybody that's online, if y'all got questions or anything, I'm as new to this as we all are on the idea of raising your hand, but I believe there's a raise your hand function, or just unmute yourself and just say, hey man, what's up with this? And then I'll just hear you and you can interject whatever you want. Okay.
All right.
Okay. So as we move past the wide exteriors, right now we see choose whatever shots and angles you can find that make the place look beautiful. I can't stress that enough. The idea of a tourism video is that we want people to come take a look at wherever we're at, right? And so one of the things you want to do, everything you shoot, you want it to look nice. You want it to look inviting. You want it to look beautiful. And a lot of that with a camera, no matter what camera, right? Phone, handheld camera, ENG camera, DSLR camera, whatever you got, whatever your rig is, right? You can choose angles, you can choose the way you shoot something, and you can choose the shots themselves, whether they're really tight, maybe they're down low, maybe they're up high, maybe they're really wide, right? But we choose those in a way that make the place look good. That's key. So that when you go back, and if you're going to edit this or if you're going to post this, it's real simple to go through and grab your shots if you shoot in your head first before you push record on the camera. If you think about it, this is what I like, and you test it and you look in your camera, you look in your viewfinder, and you're like, I think this might look good. Well, go ahead and take a look and see. And if you like it, then hit record and record it. But as you go back and start dealing with your shots, every one of them will be nice and pretty. It makes what you're about to post or what you're about to edit and put together much simpler. All right. But we're going to use the shots that we pick and the angles we pick simply to make the place look beautiful. And that's a subjective word, isn't it? I mean, the idea of what's beautiful to me may be different from what's beautiful to the owner, what's beautiful to a visitor. The two things I've learned on that one, and this is paramount. This is another reason I tell you, go in there and ask the owner, find what's up, introduce yourself, tell them what you're about to be doing. And the reason is, if they tell you stuff for sure that they like about it, or, things like, a lot of them will tell you, oh man, you get them going, especially old people. And they'll be like, let me tell you the story about why this happened. See that picture over there? Like, my wife died a while ago and she was a big restaurant baker of bread or whatever. So our breads are real special here. Or my daughter had an issue with a medical problem, and that's what got us started in doing this, right? And we created this kind of a park because she was in a wheelchair, and we realized there really wasn't any type of amusement parks for kids in wheelchairs or whatever. So when you hear those stories, you're going to know, okay, well, I want to make sure I shoot that bread, or I want to make sure I'm shooting kids in wheelchairs having fun on a roller coaster, right? You listen, and then you figure out what you're going to shoot. It helps you kind of understand what your angles are. But that's from the client, that's from the owner of the business or whatever it is you're dealing with or shooting. Past that, then I'm going to go with what makes me feel good. And that's only what makes the camera feel good as to what looks pretty, right? I can't tell you that enough. Tourism video, the style that we're doing, make things look pretty, make things look inviting, make your audience want to come where you're at. That's going to be not so subjective as you might think. The idea, what's pretty to me, what's pretty to them. This was pretty to the camera. Can't stress that enough. We might be on a day where it's just beautiful sunshine. We might be on a day where it's raining. We might be on a day where it's cloudy. Whatever the conditions are, that's going to tell you and the camera you're using how to shoot what you're shooting, and don't use it if it doesn't look good. Don't get your job done just to get it done if it's uninviting to the audience. Use your camera, look through your viewfinder, look through your camera itself, set up shots and try different shots. And if whatever you're pointing the camera at looks cool, looks pretty, looks beautiful, looks inviting, then that's the shot you want. Second only to whatever the owner or the people have told you, I really like this about this place. We want to include that as well. But ultimately, most of everything you shoot is going to be up to you. Trust yourself. And in that context, just shoot what the camera happens to really like on that given day, right? Sometimes I've done stuff where I just, I don't have a shot. Like literally, if I'm looking with my eye on where I'm at, and I'm thinking all this looks ugly, like I don't get it. There's nothing here. As soon as I start to feel that way, I know immediately I still got to shoot it because I'm here, right? Because I planned ahead, I picked my location. I'm approved by everybody to be here, so I'm gonna knock this out. But I'm not feeling it. And what I'll do is I'll go straight to the camera. And then I just start looking through the camera. and I find a way to make the camera happy. And when the camera's happy, I'm happy, and I shoot it and knock it out. Okay, so that's what we're talking about there. Choose whatever shots and angles you can find that make the place look beautiful. Can't stress that enough. Okay, use the sun. Okay, that's something you don't normally hear. Usually the sun is going to be our arch enemy. When we're outside, it can ruin an interview. We talked about person on the street. We talked about how to place that person with the sun behind them, because otherwise we would silhouette them. We got issues on interviews. We got issues with shadows. We got issues with the sun most of the time. On a tourism style video, the sun is your friend, and here's why. Because again, we're walking around with the camera, we're trying to shoot some exteriors, we're trying to, even if you're inside and they got windows and the sun's coming through the windows, if you'll just use your camera and follow as your camera leads, right? And we're just looking for beautiful stuff the way the camera sees it, you can point the camera at the sun and make beautiful sunspots. You can point the camera at the sun or toward the sun, and you can put a person there and let them be silhouette. Let them be beautifully silhouette as a couple perhaps is walking into wherever you're going, as a couple is walking out of where you're going, right? We don't even see the people. We just see the silhouettes because of the style of shooting you chose. That's really, really pretty. All right. If we're inside and they got windows, if it's a restaurant, nothing's more pleasing to the eye of the owner of a restaurant than to go to a table with a window and shoot some beautiful food with that sunlight coming through the window, hitting that food. And use your shadows. You just got to look through the camera. It's like you can't even really see that. The more you do it, the more you'll be like, I kind of can see what I'm looking at through my eye and already have an idea if the camera's gonna like it. You got to shoot a lot to get there. But right now, just start with just pointing your camera at stuff and seeing what the camera sees. And if the camera likes it, then you like it, let's shoot it. That's so important, all right? The sun can be used in so many different ways to make something look really, really pretty, and that's the shots we want, just beauty shots, all right? So what did I put here? I put sometimes showing or shooting into the sun can create, oh yeah, beautiful star filter effects, right? On some cameras, you get up on a higher end ENG camera, they've got actual filters you can apply that are built in or housed into the camera itself. You can do star filters that make any kind of pop of light look like a star, and they spike hours. You can also do that in post-production. You can add star filters to lighting effects and lighting parameters that you happen to achieve on camera. They'll add a nice little pop of a star, an effect like that, or just wonderful silhouettes. That's right. And the shadows. Don't be afraid of shadows when we're talking about beauty shots in a tourism style, no matter what it is. Could be a business, could be a restaurant, could be a bar, could be a location that you like a bridge or a park or a building. You know, those shadows look really good. All right. We need sun, we need light to create shadows. So use the sun. I can't stress that enough. That one really works well for me. And until you do it, you just don't understand what I'm talking about. But I challenge you to figure that one out. Have fun with the sun and making stuff look really, really pretty. It's a big help. Trust me on that. Okay. Okay, then the opposite is true here. All right, this is one of the things I really like. We're talking about tourism videos, right? We're trying to invite people in. We're talking about being nice and bright and cheerful and happy and come look at where I'm at. Everybody should be here, that kind of thing. Then be real careful about shooting in the dark. All right, and I'll put it right here. Dark imagery creates a somber mood. We got to be careful with that, unless that's what you're going for, right? So maybe we like this dark bar that a lot of vampires hang out at. Like literally, I know a couple in Houston. I went and shot them back in the day. Real people that think they're real vampires. You know, you're not going to go to a vampire bar and find a lot of light. So if that's what we're doing, then that's fine. Use the darkness to your advantage. But most of the time, it ain't going to be that. So make sure, again, in that proper prior preparation we talked about, make sure you got a light or something in case you get in a dark corner, you can light it up. Make sure, you know, even with your camera on your phone, you can still turn a light on or have somebody that's a buddy with you or somebody that's there. You can use their phone light. Anything you can do to brighten up something to keep it from getting too dark when everything else is supposed to be happy, cheerful, smiling, beautiful people, right? Beautiful places, beautiful food, beautiful, whatever it is. So a dark shot, unless it's intentional, is gonna stop your flow. So be real careful about dark imagery. It has to be intentional. If it's not intentional, I'd stay away from that in anything within the context of a tourism video. All right, no dark shots unless they're intentional. That's all I put up on the board. Okay. This one seems like you would understand this, but I just wanted to include it because I just wanted something in writing that can be like a little set of notes to help you. But this is really, really important. All right. If we are showing people in whatever we're shooting, right? We're going to be shooting people. Catherine?
What is the last word?
I put no dark shots and I put unless intentional. Unless it's intentional. I know my handwriting's horrible. Okay. But if we're gonna, now we're moving to, you okay on that one? If we're moving now towards shooting some people, right? So now we're at a place where, and this one's important because you might like to be at a park. You might be showing someplace at a lake, or you might be showing someplace that you just like. It could be a bridge or whatever. Remember, within the context of tourism videos, we're trying to make it look inviting. We're trying to show everybody, hey, come check out what this place is, right? And that's why I tell you, if we're putting people in, make sure they look happy and that they're smiling and that they're having fun. Can't stress that enough. And that's what makes this whole thing slow down a little bit, because we're not using actors. We're not just telling people what to do. If you have that opportunity, do it, right? I mean, a lot of people just be like, I can't tell you how many businesses I've gone to do these kind of things. And they have their whole family there because they knew I was coming. They knew camera would be there. So I've got the whole 3 generations of the family there. And they look at me like, what do you want us to do? And I'm like, well, okay, great. First thing is everybody be happy. Everybody smile. Now let's go over here and shoot that and shoot that and shoot that. And everybody was happy and smiling. That's perfect. But if this is you going somewhere and just shooting it from what you see, you have to be selective on the people you include. And that has to be intentional on the idea that we want them to be happy. We want them to look like they're having fun. We want them to smile, right? Or we can pull back on those wide shots and just see them doing their thing. If it's a park or a public place, we show a wide shot because a wide shot might show a lot of people. The idea that you might want to be invited, remember that the public, people in general, each of us, unless we've been conditioned by something in our lives to make us feel otherwise, most people are universally conditioned to at least be interested in what are all those people doing over there, right? I mean, they did a little research study, I remember, in Russia a long time ago, people standing in line, and they didn't know what they were even standing in line for. They were just like, why are you in this line? And the line's so long, like it's 3, 4 blocks down the road. And people at the back of the line are like, we don't even know why we're in line. It's just, we saw a line and we figured people must know something, so we jumped in line. I know that sounds crazy, but people do think like that. And they will think like that, more importantly, as you're shooting stuff and enticing them to want to come be a part of what's going on. If you have a lot of people, shoot a wide shot, show a lot of people at the place you're talking about, makes people wonder what's going on, makes people want to come be a part of that, right? That's a little easy marketing ploy playing to the subconscious of most people. All right. But in the meantime, if we're showing people and we show them wide, it doesn't matter because it's just a bunch of people milling around doing what they do. As soon as we start pushing in, or we go intentional because we see a couple that's really happy, we see a family that's jumping around, we see some dudes playing Frisbee, or we in a restaurant, we see some people talking and over some food. That's always a beautiful shot. Left of the table, right of the table, table full of food, everybody eating and laughing and having fun. Every place likes that, all right? So that's what we want. If we want to show people, make sure that they look happy and that they're smiling and having fun. Put that one down as just simply happy people. Okay? And again, that same caveat of darkness being intentional with the idea, let's just, again, go back to the vampire bar. If that's what we're shooting, then they're not going to be happy. All right. So it's not the idea we're going to make happy people all the time. It depends on what is our location and what's our vibe, right? What are we trying to do? What's the mood that we're trying to carry forward, right? If it's somber, then that's what we'll show. And it's cool. Show vampires, show people in the dark, if it's intentional, but most of the time, a tourism style video is not going to do that. But I keep coming back to that because when you see what the assignment actually is asking for you to do, you may find yourself in a vampire bar. Who knows? And that can mean a lot to each of us, right? I just keep saying that because who knows what that'll be, but everything is not always full of sun. What do they say? It's not always rainbows and unicorns. You might want to go to some somber, dark place. So that's fine with me. Just capture it that way. Tell the story, right? That shows what I'm going to see if I walk into that place. Okay. So dark, here we go. If we're showing people, make sure that they look happy and they're smiling and they're having fun. Okay. What's the next one? Oh, this is where it gets a little interesting. Use beautiful but quick shots. I'm going to put quick as the first word up there. I put it on the board as quick shots because that's the key word where I'm trying to take y'all on this one. But I wrote it down as this: use beautiful but quick shots, and know that the quick shots means you'll need a bunch of shots in order to create your short video. All right. So keep that in mind when we talk about planning up front. Remember, when we go to do this type of a tourism shot, we can get bogged down if we start doing too many interviews. We can get bogged down if we start shooting too long, right? If we're shooting an amusement park, I don't need to film the whole roller coaster ride. I just need to show you that there's a roller coaster, and then I need a little quick room, and the roller coaster goes right in front of my camera, and that's it. Then I'm showing you something different. That's what I mean by quick shots. This style of shooting, this particular endeavor of wanting to make people feel included and come to where something's at, you got to use a lot of different shots, and they got to be quick. So because they're quick, it just, your mindset has to be from the beginning, I'm fixing to do a lot of work. I'm going to shoot a lot of stuff, because when you start editing it and when you start posting it, those quick shots, you need a bunch of them just to fill up a minute, just to fill up a minute 30, 90 seconds, right? You got to have a bunch of shots. So you get there. That's why I tell you, start on the outside, start with the exterior, start with some beautiful shots before you even get there, because you got to have a lot of shots to make this work right. So that's the mindset right there, right? Use beautiful but quick shots. Remember, we want all the shots to look pretty. We want all the shots to be enticing and intriguing and showcasing whatever the place is. But we're going to need a bunch of them because we're trying to do quick shots that show the viewer throughout the entirety of the video link, what it is we're talking about. So they really get the experience of what we're asking them to come be a part of. All right. So quick shots. Those are going to be paramount. All right. Here's the last thing that I wrote down. It was really important that I could think of on what we would do with something like this. And that is wide, medium, tight. All right. So I put it down at the bottom and I did it like this. And I just thought that's a pretty cool way to do it. Honestly, I put that like an equation, right? And then I put that. And then I put that. All right. So wide is greater than, medium is greater than tight. So once you pick a place and you're of the mindset now, I know I need my wide, medium, tight. So when you see something and you think, oh, that'd be really cool, shoot it in a wide, medium, tight just to cover yourself and give you those quick shots that you might need, right? So we're going to shoot. When we look and we see, oh, I think I like that. We look in the camera and you're like, oh man, the camera loves it. Okay, I'm going to shoot this. We're going to start with a wide shot. Give us a little bit of time, cut. We're going to push into a medium shot. Give us a little bit of time, cut. And then ultimately, we're going to push in on that same shot all the way to tight, and we're going to shoot a tight of that shot. Now, when you go to post or when you go to edit, you've got at least 3 of those one shots to choose from. You don't have to try to edit. Assuming you're editing, we could do that in post, but it's going to not look as crisp as it would if you just shot at full frame resolution, wide, medium, and tight. All right, that's really important. And the reason I put that down is because in news, we call that a lot of what we'll do in news is what we call an identifier shot. At some time, we talked about it in the beginning when you first get there and we're doing the wide exteriors, right? That's another thing where you could really knock out an identifier. But for instance, you know, like I told you with the story of me going to this place today, I knew where to go once I got close because of their wide identifying shots, right? So that's what we're really doing. We're trying to find things. It doesn't have to be outside. If we're doing a place or a building, it could be inside, right? So if you go inside to a place, let's just say again, we're going to let's just say a restaurant. And in the restaurant, most of the time for branding purposes alone, they will have the name of the restaurant inside the restaurant, right? Like I like to go because my boy used to work there. He would hook me up with like points and stuff. And still to this day, he hadn't even worked there like a year. I'm still living off the points at Buffalo Wild Wings. He used to work there. He was a bartender. He started, you know, busting tables, worked his way up, ended up a bartender, manager at a place. And every time someone would eat and they didn't put a card down or whatever, or a number down, he'd put it down to my account. Man, we ended up with buku stuff. That was fantastic. Anyway, if you think about a Buffalo Wild Wings and you're inside of that place, just sitting down, no matter where you look, it could be on the menu, it could be on the wall, it could be on the television monitors they got. There's always something flying around about BW3. So if I was shooting that, I would include that in some of my shots to give me an identifier, right? So I don't have to do it outside. In news, if you're watching news, you'll see no matter what, on the overnight news where we started, you had to have an identifying shot that was the street sign, right? So we knew when we first got there, unless it was happening and we didn't want to miss nothing, we'd film what was happening. But at some point in the course of recording something of an event for the news, you had to go and shoot the street sign that showed you the cross streets of where you are, right? So I don't know, Newcastle at Richmond, right? Or like I was today, like I just told you on the thrifting store I went to, Westheimer at South Shepherd. You got to shoot that sign so the news media can show people this is where this accident happened, this is where this story happened, whatever. And these kind of tourism videos, we're going to do the same thing. Doesn't have to be the exact street sign at the corner, but we need an identifier of some kind, because the people that you're working with, the people that are going to want to go, we're trying to make them feel comfortable. And when we show them things that they will see once they're there, the more that we can show them, the more comfortable they'll be made to feel when they get there. And we're manipulating them when we do that. When we produce this type of a video, we're manipulating them to feel comfortable, to want to go, first of all, to get up and go where we're telling them to go. And then once they get there, they feel comfortable because in the video that motivated them to even go there, to be interested to go. Now they've seen the stuff in our video and they're like, oh, I remember I saw that. Check that out. That looks really cool. Right? So you use your own idea of what's cool to you, what looks good to the camera, and then you shoot that and include that in your tourism video so that when people do get there, they're already comfortable and they're looking for stuff because they saw what you had promoted and helped with, and they want to go be a part of that, particularly as we get into the idea of selfies and recognizing places for, I'd love to take some of my social media stuff, pictures there and whatnot, right? So identifiers work like that as well. That's really important, right? So show us the name, the location, or some other identifier for that place that helps viewers recognize the place when they arrive, right? And that's why I tell you, when you're doing that kind of a shot, when you're thinking about that kind of shot, it'll help you if you'll do the wide, medium, tight. When you use it as an identifier, you think this would be a cool identifier, or you just like thinking out loud, I like it, I don't know how I use it, then shoot wide, medium, tight so that you give yourself a lot of options when you're creating this video, whether you're editing it or just working on your phone to cut it and post it. Wide, medium, tight is going to be the formula that's going to work for you the most often in helping you at the time when you're shooting something. You know, it's hard to go back and get it. So just while you got the camera, while you're shooting stuff, use that wide, medium, tight formula to give yourself a lot of coverage that you can play with. And then you'll have the options you need when you want to create that feeling, right, of helping your viewer kind of know where they're at when they get there. Okay. Okay, fantastic. All right, how are we doing? Any questions or comments or concerns? Everybody kind of understanding what I'm doing? Okay. Online, Oscar, Chad, y'all okay?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, that's what I wanted to tell y'all. let me sit down and pop up the assignment and we'll go into what we're talking about now. Hang on just a second. And what I put up on screen, I'll take a picture of here in just a second so that you guys online can have it. I like the idea of the flex course, but I gotta tell y'all are missing out now because see, last week I realized on Wednesdays and Thursdays, I got that free food in the cafeteria. So today I got here late because I had to go to the thrift store. But tomorrow I'll get here a little early and get some food. But even having closed it down at 1 o'clock like they did, they still had drinks available. So I was able to get a soda, which I like that idea. So that makes Wednesdays and Thursdays even better.
Did I redo it?
Did you already do it?
Oh, yeah, I did. The whole, like, the whole course, all right.
The whole course, I
Yeah.
freaking hate you, shut up. He did not.
So I just kind of like skimmed through it. Just
Okay,
like-
here we go. Now I'm going to share my screen with y'all so y'all can see.
Oh, you're still sharing. We see it.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you for that. Okay. That's interesting to me. Okay. Oh, I see. Okay, hang on. If I do stop share,
Now
now y'all
it's
see me.
you. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for teaching me. Okay, fantastic. Okay, now you see my screen?
Right.
Yeah, it's loading, it says. Aha. Okay, I'm figuring it out. Okay, here we go. So this is our bright space environment up under week 5. Again, I'm going to put attendance up for this week. I won't go backwards. I just want for the administration that is monitoring our courses here. I want for them to be able to see graded events, and an attendance plug-in is an easy one. So put a week 5 attendance, just submit your name and that'll be good. And then for week 5 assignment, this is where we're at. All right. So this is what I'm talking about. I'm just going to read it to you so that you'll have it. And then we can all hear it here the same, but it's ultimately, you'll see where I'm taking you on this one. This week, we'll be looking at tourism videos, and it's just the idea of the style of that type of shooting, mostly because no matter what you like, if there's somebody that can be that can benefit from your showcasing it, they'll pay you to do these things. All right. That's kind of where we're at right now. And I'm helping. I'm just constantly thinking about how y'all could use what you have and go get paid. All right. But shooting tourism videos is all about shooting fun and beautiful people, places, and things. It makes people want to visit the place you're shooting. Below is a link to some videos I produced for AOL Travel for San Antonio. Take a look and see what you might want to do around town here. And I gave you a link right there. You can click that and watch all that. Okay. And that was a while ago. So it was fun, but it just shows you the idea, right? But shooting tourism videos, here we go. Shooting tourism videos doesn't have to be exclusively for tourism purposes. Here's the key. One of the most interesting uses of tourism style videos I see today is how people, places, and things are using quick and pretty shots on Instagram and other social media to push new bars, restaurants, and interesting places. That's the key. All right. So electronic field production takes you into the field for production, and that's what you'll have to do for this assignment this week. But before you journey out, you need to plan ahead. And we talked about that, right? So to complete this assignment, you'll need your phone or a camera and editing or social media posting capabilities. And here's the assignment. 3, go shoot 3 cool places you like around town, anywhere you like. Doesn't matter to me. Okay. Shoot your locations, then put your quick shots together and make a short video that makes me want to go visit these places. They could be parks or bridges or restaurants or buildings or bars, whatever you want. And the reason I did that is because a park.
Sorry.
Oh, that's okay. No worries. That's okay. All right, but the reason I did that is because if you do parks and bridges and stuff like that, you don't have to ask nobody. You don't have to deal with nobody. You can literally go and do that and just be like, I like this on Allen Parkway, Allen Parkway where they do the art car parade. They'll shut it all down. What is that? That is it's Allen Parkway. You're going downtown. I think it's Memorial on one side and it's Allen Parkway on the other as you're going into downtown. They got statues and things, fountains and whatnot. At Wall Street and Allen Parkway, the bridge over Allen Parkway that connects the Memorial side to the Allen Parkway side on the Wall Street Bridge. There's like thousands, hundreds of thousands of bats that live up underneath there. And I had to go shoot that one time. That was a pretty cool assignment. I didn't even know it existed. You can go there and shoot the bats. Anyway, I gave you things that you ain't got to deal with nobody. You just go and do it yourself if that's what you want to do. But if you have someone or if you have a place, go, right? That's what we talked about. Go shoot 3 places. Add music to your short video and then send me a link if you're going to put it on social media or an MP4 video using the submission portal below and the assignment thing itself, right? And that's where I was taking you on this one. You can shoot this straight to Instagram or social media if you want and just send me a link to your post. Nice and simple. And my bet is y'all are already doing this anyway. If you're not, I want you to, because there's money out there. There's people getting paid to do stuff just like this. All right. But in the meantime, shoot straight to Instagram or social media if you want and send me a link so I can see it and just send me the link in a text submission portal on the assignment itself. Or if you shoot a video and need to produce it using the editing software, then export your video, like I tell you all the time, as an MP4 file using the first name, last name format. So it's easy for me to see who did it and turn it in and then submit that one. Here's the key. When we do it as an MP4 video, if that's what you're going to do, I want for you to host that somewhere. I want you to upload that somewhere. And I want you to submit that to me as a link, not as a submittable file. So you're going to have to do it. If you're using Adobe Premiere Pro to do your editing, it's all fine by me. But when you make that MP4 file, you're going to have to put it somewhere. You're going to have to post it to your YouTube page or to Vimeo or wherever you can put content, right? And then send me a link. I want you to get acclimated to the idea of turning your content into a hyperlink that you then send to someone to receive and view it, right? That's where it's all going now. And I want y'all to be real comfortable with that. So even if you shoot it and edit it and create an MP4 for this assignment, you still got to turn that into a link somehow, okay? And then all you see beneath that is the helpful hints that we just went over just now. That's a wrap on that. All right, how are we doing? Amanda's got a question.
If we post on social media, like say Instagram, does it still have to be in a landscape format or can we do it in portrait if we put it on Instagram?
Oh, I love it. Okay. If we're doing something on an Instagram, we're going to go social media. Does it have to be landscape or can we shoot it portrait mode? Because that's how we do it on Insta, right? Oh, no, girl, you do it as you want. If we're going Insta, we're going Snap, we're going wherever y'all want to do, you can shoot just like this because that's what that format requires. Can you even shoot landscape? No kidding.
I can post a landscape on Instagram.
What does it look like? Yeah, because everything on that is like this, right?
Like follow like a Marvel Instagram,
Yes,
they would post the trailers in a landscape format.
yes,
Now it looks short
yes.
because it's like you said, it's made for portrait, but I mean, it still works.
All right. Well, she's saying that if you went to like Marvel and you started you were checking out the Marvel site that with their trailers for their movies and things, they would have to literally it was already done as a landscape, HD video, and they're posting it up to some of their socials like that. And it just gets weird as they turn that into this. First of all, it's going to make it smaller, I'm guessing.
It is. I actually use landscape. I use landscape for my client as well. Because I'm already shooting in landscape.
Yeah,
To go
yeah.
to YouTube,
Yes.
but
So Amanda's saying she's already doing some stuff in landscape mode.
like it does, it comes out short.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it still looks good, though. Look at that high quality, though. Oh, I kind of like that. I mean, but honestly, with a decent phone, I don't know that I would know the difference. I'll tell you right now, as a producer of this content, you do it how you wish. Whatever's going to be easiest for you or whatever's going to make it look the best for you. And if you're using legacy content, that is to say stuff you've already shot and you shot it landscape or you shot it with a big video camera and you've already mastered it like this, then post that. Doesn't matter to me. As long as we complete the idea of how do we take and produce content that makes people want to go somewhere. That's the idea of a tourism video, because that's something that's highly monetizable now. Everybody needs it if they're not already doing it. I know so many people that own so many different things and they think they can just do it themselves until they try to do it all and then keep doing it because content is king, but it has to be quantity, not quality. And they realize I got to do this every day. They'd pay you in a heartbeat to go knock that out. So that's how that one goes. And you figure it out where you can go and take your phone and go shoot these things and know your shots that you want and get it down to a science almost. I promise you, you can knock these out all week long. At the very least, you could eat for free, right? You can find you a decent restaurant and tell them I'll do this for y'all a couple of days a week and y'all give me a meal or two. I used to do that in the early days. I ate everywhere. It was a good gig. Okay. All right. What other questions y'all got? Was that an answer for you? Yeah. I'll take it either way. I think because it's just the idea of what looks best to you. Yeah.
Because even if you shoot in a portrait,
Yeah.
YouTube has a shorts now,
Yeah, that's right.
so you can do it in portrait.
YouTube, she's saying you with the YouTube shorts, you can take this now. And I just was reading this morning, they've made that to where you can monetize all that now.
Yeah.
The YouTube shorts. Everybody's excited about that. Alex liking some of that. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Okay. Aha. Catherine's asking about YouTube shorts.
It's like,
Mhm.
stories, it works like that.
It's like TikTok but for YouTube.
Yeah. It's stories for YouTube.
I love what Alex just said because it helps me in my little brain figure things out. He's like YouTube shorts. It's just TikTok, but for YouTube. Yeah.
Literally the exact same thing.
Yeah. See? That's what's happening right now. Nobody knows, who the leader is. They know they've all got these huge infrastructures. They know audiences are there. And what do we do to capture an audience and keep them, right? And it's anybody's game. And as soon as somebody figures it out, everybody else starts doing it. But any of us, if we had the time and we had the ability and the experience to be able to knock it out, I promise you, you could forge your own path. Go a different way. Try something new. You've got everything you need. The creativity, the infrastructure is right here nowadays. And whatever else you need, get it from the cage and go try new things and see what happens. But just because TikTok did it, they had an infrastructure is what they had that really worked. And so YouTube's now got the same thing going. And, that's going to be a battle forever. But in the meantime, the creative folk like us, we get to just use all the avenues we can. But it's all going to be about this kind of a shoot right here. The idea of getting paid is going to be, can I make and motivate people go somewhere, do something, want to experience something? Yes, that's the idea. And that's why I just referred to it, universally as a tourism video. It's the same concept, but you might have a whole different reason for using it. But these hints here that I put, this assignment right here, is just to get you used to the idea of how you would do it, what works and what doesn't work, and then figure out how you motivate people's emotions and subconscious level for branding. Like we talked about, include a locator shot of some kind, a bunch of them if you can, and then showcase what's good about the place and make people want to go. Yeah. Oh, I don't have a link on this one. That's a good question. I didn't even put that in there. I just said keep it short because these videos are 60 seconds. Does Instagram or any social media give you a link that's a maximum length?
I think Instagram, if you do it as a post, 30 seconds.
30 seconds tops on Insta. Yeah. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Quick shots. You got to show a lot as much as you can, and you only got 30 seconds to do it. And
Wait,
then
is that the maximum time for a video on Instagram? 30 seconds?
For a video, it could go for a while. I don't think there's much of a limit, but if you want to do it as a post and not a reel on Instagram, it's 30 seconds.
all right, she's saying that the difference lies in the idea of how they define a post and a reel. A
Hmm,
reel can be much longer, a post, 30 seconds.
Let's see.
So I think what I'm seeing when I'm seeing people do this, and I'm seeing it a lot from restaurants, I'm seeing a lot from bars. A lot of bars now, for whatever reason, seem like they got to have a speakeasy. Like you got to know to go to this wall, knock on this picture, and then a door opens and you go behind the door and you're in some fancy little Alice in Wonderland bar. Those are the 30-second things I must be seeing. Those must be post, I guess. All right. But yeah, so that's why I'm trying to keep it short. So for Catherine's question, the time on this, it's whatever you want, but I don't expect it to be any longer than 60 seconds. I'm with Amanda. Aim for 30 seconds. In fact, let's just say that 30 seconds, because you have to see that that's not a long time, and you have to see that is a lot of shots. Oh, like Amanda's saying, that at 30 seconds, you got to focus on the hook. You got to be understanding of, as a producer, you know, again, tourism video, what's going to make people want to go here, right? So a lot of the bars I see that are doing this, and now a lot of them are done, I guess, everywhere, but they're showing you fancy drinks, one after another. Then they show you the bar behind the bar, that kind of thing. They show you the outside of the place so that when you get close, you know, because some of these bars are so clandestine, if you don't know, like in my day, they had a little bar called Marfrey's over there on West Gray, kind of West Gray and Shepherd, I think is where it was. And it's just a red door underneath the staircase outside. If you didn't know, you would never know. And if you knew, you just walk up to the red door, you knock on the door, someone would open it, you go into this fancy old bar. It's been that way forever. I don't even know if it's still around, but anyway, I see a lot of places like that now, but they only got 30 seconds in this post to make you want to go. And that takes a lot of clever shots, all right? That's where I want for y'all to get good with this assignment. And it's just a tourism video. That's all it is, but it's now for social media. And it's something that you literally can do with your phone. The editing, the music. Like I watched my daughter come home over the holidays and she was doing that. She was making something for some social media she's on, and she told the entire story of when she left school, came home, and then went back to school. And when you watch it, it was all like 30 seconds or something, but it had a bunch of shots in there of all the crazy stuff she was doing. And I was like, wow, that's interesting storytelling, right? And so that's where I think I want for y'all to understand and play with, because I see that the old people like me, we know we need it, but we ain't going to even try to slow down and figure out how to do it. But we'll heck is surely pay y'all to do it. And that's where I see this one going. All right. But to me, it's just a tourism video. That's all it is. Just figuring out how do we approach that gig and how do we handle that and be able to knock it out on a regular. Yeah. Catherine, you okay? Making sense? Okay. All right. So 30 seconds, and I'm gonna cut this off in a second, and I'll add that into the assignment on Brightspace. All right. Does that make sense? Oscar, Chad, y'all doing okay?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All right, baby. Then let's everybody good here? Okay, then I'm gonna cut the video and let it go to record, and I'll post it up here in just a second, and that'll be a wrap for today, man. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. I really like this idea of the Zoom thing, and I'm learning how to share screens and stuff. I'm gonna be a better fella for it. All right. In the meantime, thank y'all so much. Okay, y'all have a great day. Do good and be good. All right. Bye-bye.
You too. See you.
See you. Bye-bye, y'all. Yes, ma'am. Yes, add a girl.
So is you can also do the Microsoft Teams, right? So you like the
Yeah, Microsoft Teams.
yeah, you
Yes.
Zoom.
Yeah.
So, I see you option.
You know,
Have you used Microsoft Teams